Hi, I'm Ash Lauren, and you're watching Orgasm Central TV. So, funny enough, I've played video games like my whole life. Um, I was always playing with guys, and after like I started playing video games for a really long time, I started realizing that like a lot of these guys were like into me and like were like wanting like nude pictures and stuff like that. And I was like, man, like this was back before like Cash App and all that. So I would take like PayPal for like nudes. Um, so after like doing that for so long, OnlyFans came out. So I started OnlyFans because like everybody was like, you need to do OnlyFans. Like, this is so your shit. This is your lane. And I was like kind of nervous about it because like obviously like my family and my friends, like everybody will find out. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to like put that out in the world yet. So um I was like, fuck it, like it's extra money, you know what I'm saying? So I started my OnlyFans. I was doing it for probably like 6 or 8 months. And then God, like I don't know, like I just kept making more money every month. Like the next month would be more money. And I was like starting to get addicted to it. And I was trying to figure out a way to like promote myself more other than just using like gamers to like follow me and like subscribe and stuff. So um I started doing like my research and I started finding like plus size porn companies. And so I reached out to a couple of them. And my first shoot ever was with BBW Highway. Um, that went amazing. And ever since then, I was like, my career just went from like making like a few dollars, you know what I'm saying, to like thousands upon thousands every month. And yeah, it's been crazy. But yeah, that's how I got in. So I started with video games and I used that as like my way to just like market myself and put myself out. And obviously, like you see, I have like my whole tattoo sleeve is super gamerish. So it's always been like a huge part of my life. But yeah, that's how I started.
Yeah, I keep saying like I always ask these women the same question, like how you got started, and it's always like the American dream. And it's
Yeah, it is. It is.
like, so what do you love most about your work?
I there's a lot that I love about my job, my career. I I don't want to say the money, even though I love the money the most. It's really not even just about that. It's the fact that I'm doing something that I love and the money's coming with it. I love the traveling, of course. I love meeting people from all over the world, all different walks of life. Um, oh, the most probably the traveling, I would say. Yeah, the traveling for sure.
Yeah, because I know a lot of porn stars and sex workers and doms are like always on tour, just
Yeah,
for, like cash meets and I don't know. Some of those girls do like fuck a fan-a-thon too. So I don't know
they
how much.
do, which is actually like I've been thinking about doing one myself, but I work here in Brooklyn. So like I'm always like you can always see me, you know what I'm saying? So um I don't know, I'm still going back and forth like do I want to do a raffle? Like I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see.
So what was your favorite scene to shoot like ever?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I think my favorite, and I was actually just discussing this with one of my best friends, Charisma DeLuca. Shout out. I think my favorite scene was with me, her, and Devin Drills. And there's just so much that played into this scene. So it was us three. We hired my videographer shooter. Um, we shot it at my house. So originally it was supposed to be like I was a doctor, she was a nurse, and Devin Drills was our patient. But it we just like kept finding ways to like add different things into the scene. So we ended up taking um like swabs that we had, and this was when they first like came out, so like not first came out, but when the industry started like really like you had to have them, they were mandatory. So Empower, which is based in Atlanta, shout out to Empower, he shipped the swabs to my house for me to swab and like go get tested, but I ended up using the swabs. We ended up using the swabs in the scene. So I was like, so basically, like, it's like a pack of like with swabs and like the doctor requisition, everything. Um, and I was like, oh my God, I have swabs. Let's turn this into like he's our patient coming to get tested, and we end up just like having sex in the doctor's office. So that shit was hysterical. It was, we could not stop laughing. We had to like make so many cuts, and we had to stop so many times because we were just fucking dying. um but I definitely like, it's super hot. It's such a hot scene. Definitely my favorite that I've ever shot. It was so much fun.
So,
Yeah.
so what studios are you dying to shoot with in the future?
um I'm gonna be super honest with you. I haven't really even been shooting for companies as often as I used to. I've been on quite a few. Most of them are plus size, friendly, or just for BBWs. Um, I'm kind of making a turn in my content this year. So 2025, I'm really gonna focus on amateur content. I want to I live a cool ass life. Like my life is dope. I have so many cool friends. We do so much crazy shit, and it's like the image that I'm portraying of myself on camera is, it's a lot of who I am, but it's not everything. Like I have so many more kinks, I have so many more fetishes, things that I want to try, things that I want to do, and things that I'm already doing that I want to bring to light. So I really like, whether I meet up with like a guy from Tinder and we end up fucking, and like I take his paperwork and he's like, we can make it an actual shoe, but it's really like real life stuff. So I don't specifically have any companies. Like, of course, when people from studios and stuff reach out, like um I don't usually say no, but I do give it a lot more thought now.
Yeah, I mean, because I was saying there's plenty of like BBW face sitting or even trampling where
Yeah.
it's where
Hmm.
you just walk all over a guy, and I'm sure like a lot of women get a kick out of that. But
They do. There's a lot of fetish around BBW, but I also like, I've always categorized myself, and I feel that I'm holding myself back from like by categorizing myself. So yes, I am a BBW, I'm a plus size woman, but at the end of the day, I'm a woman. I'm a hot ass bitch. Like I'm sexy, I'm funny, I have great personality, I'm super caring, I'm loving, like I have all these things about me that I don't need to just categorize myself as a BBW or a plus size girl. Like I'm human, I'm a girl, I'm a woman. So I feel like this year it's just going to be my year. Like I have so many good things and dope shit planned for this year that I'm super excited about. But yeah, I never like I know you were saying about like the fetish and stuff, and like I get it, I do understand the fetish, but I've only done like a select few like fetish, like fat girl fetish videos. I usually just focus on just being a hot girl. So
so here's one of those long-winded questions. According to the 2022 Free Speech Coalition, 46% of adult workers have been restricted on services like PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. 36% of adult performers have lost at least one bank account. 55% have been denied insurance because of their background, and half, 50%, have been denied a loan because of sex work. What do you think of those statistics?
I think it's awful. I think I do believe, and I know because I've seen it and I've heard of it, or heard about it, that a lot of people do deal with that. Um, there's ways around things, obviously. Um, I've never experienced it myself, but sex work is real fucking work. Let me tell you, I claim taxes, I pay, I have health insurance, like I'm a legit person. Like it doesn't matter that I'm having sex or selling myself or, like throwing myself all over the internet. Like it's not like that. I've never made so much money in my life. Like I can't even, I still some days I wake up and I look at my house and I look at everything that I have and everything that I've worked for and I'm like, holy shit. I make more than some doctors, nurses, practitioners, lawyers, like I'm making more money doing what I do and a lot of it is harder work than what like I don't want to say it's harder work than like doctors and stuff, but it is hard fucking work. And I make money because I work hard. And I feel like it's some bullshit what they do to us. Like it's fucked up. Um, Again, I pay taxes even on my escorting money. Like I pay taxes on that shit. So in the future, I have it set up where if I want to invest in something or I need a loan or I want to buy a house or I want to invest in properties or like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm able to do those things because I claim my money. Do I claim it necessarily as a sex worker? Probably not. Honestly speaking, no. But there's ways around it. And it's unfortunate that we have to do those things because the way everybody frowns upon sex workers, it's bullshit. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, I know it does. I think a lot of that had to do with Fosta Sesta. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but are you?
No.
Oh yeah, well, FOSTA, it's like uh it was what was it? Fight Online Sex Trafficking Act and SESTA Stop Enabling Sex Trafficking, which I'm pretty sure was used to stop the sex trafficking of children, but they don't get that sex trafficking and consensual sex work are two different things.
I definitely I don't condone sex trafficking by any means. I don't think most people do. I think that's awful. Obviously, what I do is very consensual and I'm agreeing to what I'm doing, but for those who are unable to consent and are being sex trafficked or being pimped out or, the whole nine yards. I think that's awful. That's super awful.
So, what do you think people can do to help sex workers?
I think first and foremost, support your sex workers. Like if you're claiming that you're a fan, be a fan. Show up, show out, give us money, buy our products, buy our merch, buy our, stuff out of our stores, our clip stores, subscribe. Not only just those things, but even like word of mouth, like people that are hating on sex workers or, you know, it's like just have stuff that is good to say about us. Don't sit here and say we're sluts, we're whores, we're this, we're that. Um, it's funny because this kind of tags it, like it ties into what you're asking me. Testing. So we are required to test every 2 weeks. Um, if we're actively shooting, you must be tested. So I have a lot of people that I see weekly, monthly, daily, whatever, and a lot of them don't even know about testing. So it like I had somebody call me yesterday and was like, he's like 26 years old. He's never been STD tested. That to me is bizarre. Um, I think to be supportive of sex workers, to understand that we're actually some of the cleanest people that walk this planet because we have to get tested. So if we're required to be tested versus a civilian who might get tested once every 3 years because they don't think they have anything, I think being supportive of understanding that we are super fucking clean is really important. Aside from everything else, I would say that's like the biggest stigmatism behind sex workers is that we're dirty, we're nasty, we're not tested, we're, doing stuff that's not sanitary, whatever. But that's so not true. So not true.
So, what makes you stand out in this industry?
Wow, that's a loaded question. It's sometimes it's hard being in this industry. I fight with myself quite a bit that there's always going to be hotter girls than me. There's always going to be more creative girls than me, girls that are marketing and networking more or advertising themselves in a better way. I think for me, what makes me stand out the most is, of course, I'm nasty, I'm raunchy, I have fun when I shoot, like I love what I do. But I have personality. Like I'm super personable. I'm hilarious. Like I don't mean to like toot my own horn or anything, but I really like I'm super down to earth. I have great personality. Excuse me. So I hear through the grapevine that a lot of these girls don't have personality and they're not relatable. Like they're literally just a product and they're shaking ass and they're twerking and they're, throwing it back on the internet, whatever the fuck it is. And I'm so for that. Like you girls are hot. I feel though a lot of these girls don't have the personality and they're very boring. I'm not boring. I'm really like I'm a great vibe. I have fun. So I feel like that's definitely what makes me stand out.
Yeah, I noticed a lot too. Some of these, especially when I talk to them, some of these girls are kind of mean. Like they really that make it uh their personality, even when they're not even in session.
Yeah. And yeah, that's it too. A lot of these girls act like their shit does not stink, acts like they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I don't really give a shit. Like, I don't care how fat I get, how skinny I get, how beautiful or ugly I am. There's somebody out there for everybody. So I might not be a certain person's cup of tea, but to the next person, they're literally like so obsessed with me. So I have to I have to remember that I'm not going to be beautiful to everybody. Not every woman is beautiful to every person. Not every man is going to be handsome to every woman. Everybody has a type. Everybody's into different shit. So I feel for me, it's just like I came from a really rough childhood. I came from a place where sometimes we didn't know if there was going to be food on the table. Like I struggled a lot growing up and my parents being separated, like my mom, she stayed in Florida. My dad took us to me and my brother to Canada and he gave us a better life there, but it wasn't easy. Like my dad was a single father. So for him to raise two children was super difficult. And so today I use that as power. Like I know what I came from and I'm always going to stay humble. I'm always going to be myself. I don't care how many surgeries I go through, how fucking beautiful I get, more beautiful. I'm always going to stay true to who the fuck I am. And I'm not letting anybody stop that. So that's my TED talk. I get super passionate about that. I'm always going to be humble.
Yeah, that's sweet. Yeah, that's It's amazing you like kind of open up about some that's kind of personal to you, I guess. That's cool. So how do you want people to remember you in this industry?
That's a really good question too. I like your questions. You have good questions.
Okay, thanks.
Um, I definitely want to be remembered as the girl that people doubted and people thought that she wouldn't make it and she couldn't do this because I've proven so many people wrong already. Um, you know, I want to be remembered like that. I also, of course, want to be remembered that I was that nasty girl that was eating ass and deep throating and face fuck, all that stuff. Of course, I want to be remembered as a slut because I am and I love it. But besides that, yeah, just like as the girl that people thought wasn't gonna make it and is more successful than a lot of these girls, and you would never know because I'm just so humble.
You know, talking to you right now, I think I just realized, you know who you remind me of?
Who?
This girl, this other porn star, Kazumi.
Really?
Yeah, she talks about, bragging about, being the biggest slut and being really humble and stuff like that. And she seems like a sweet girl too.
That's so funny you say that because she's literally like my idol. But she's not just my idol for like being a hot girl. Like she's the way she's such a fucking boss ass bitch. And she does so many things outside of the box. She just filmed, I forget the name of what the film was or the TV show, but she was in a TV show that was aired on Tubi and I watched it through and through because I love Kazumi. But she was really like getting in touch with, like she was explaining things and showing a side of herself that we don't get to see, and I follow like all her socials. She's constantly talking about how she's like like such a humble person. You're right. And she always wants to stay true to who she is, but at the same time, like she's always gonna be a slut. And that's yeah, maybe that's why I like feel so related to her because watching that Tubi episode, you have to look it up. I can't remember what the name of it is, but she was like crying. Like she was so passionate about just being who she is and living in her truth. And that's the one thing I live by every day is I'm always going to be a super honest person and I'm always going to live in my truth. And if it means that the world's going to know that I'm a fucking slut, then so be it because that's what I am and I own that shit and I love it.
Well, preach, sister.
Let you
I,
speechless. I love it.
but yeah, oh God. I was
Mhm.
like one of my on my bucket list, I'm dying to shoot content with Kazumi.
Oh my God. She's a blessing. She's a blessing. She's such a hot girl with so much brain and oh, she's great. She's great.
She's something. She's something. I don't know. I just like because I assume you are dying to shoot content with her too, if you had the chance.
Oh, if I had the opportunity, absolutely. But even just seeing her at events, like she's so personable. She loves talking to her fans. She loves meeting them. And she's just super down to earth. Like she is herself. She stays true to herself. So that to me is like I love that.
Oh yeah, yeah. She does seem. I always have this fan. I don't want to get too well. I mean, it's a podcast, so I
Yeah.
guess I can be as vulgar as I want. I always have this fantasy where I'm like kissing Kazumi's ass while she is counting money, and maybe that's just because I'm half Jewish. But
Okay. All right. That's different, but I'm here for it. I love that.
But one last question. Where do you see yourself in like 5 to 10 years?
Uh, you know, definitely still going to be in the industry. That's for sure. Um, I want to do this shit until I physically can't do it anymore. I might not always be in front of the camera, but I do have, and it's in the works, like I'm working on it. I want to eventually go into production. It's funny, most people don't know this about me, but my whole life I've been behind the camera. My brother was an amateur skateboarder, so my dad, he had like the coolest camera back in the day, and we used to film my brother, and we used to have to use those videos to like send out for him to get sponsorships. So being young and my mom was never around, I was always with my dad and my brother. So I clinged on to what my dad was doing. And so he taught me everything. He taught me from editing to filming to different lenses to different cameras, how they operate. And then, from there, I started filming my brother. And so I've always had production behind me, but I'm now in front of the camera. I'm the model, I'm the porn star. So I want to eventually get behind the camera again. But that'll be something I slowly get into as I work my way off camera. Like I'm gonna make a very slow adjustment. But it's gonna be good. So in 5 to 10 years, I would definitely say I'll be into production, but I'll still be on camera for sure. Well, I can't say for sure because we never know, but hoping that my knees stay intact, I'll still be on camera. Because I love this shit. I want to be a slut, like, and I want to show the fucking world that I'm a slut. So, um, yeah, that's where I'll be. That's where I'll be.